Sometimes family celebrations turn into full-on battlefield scenes, and that's exactly what hit Diana right after lunch, sitting in her sleek corner office on the 34th floor overlooking downtown Seattle. She was deep into reviewing partnership agreements for Ares One, the aerospace logistics company she'd founded 4 years earlier. Then a message popped up from her mom. Your father's 65th birthday is this Saturday. Given recent tensions, we've decided it's best you don't attend. We all need a calm evening, no distractions. Diana just stared at the screen. Recent tensions? Yeah, she knew exactly what that meant. She had done the unthinkable. She'd exposed her brother, Connor, siphoning money from their family's investment firm, the very firm Diana had helped save when she was in her 20s. Apparently, stealing was forgivable in their eyes, but telling the truth? That crossed the line. A soft knock at the door broke her focus. Megan, her executive assistant, stepped in. The renewal forms for the executive hangar leases just came in. You want to sign off before the week's end? Diana's eyes flicked over to the lease forms. One of those hangars, Hangar C-12 at SeaTac Private Terminal, housed a Gulfstream G700 jet she'd personally delivered 2 years ago. Funny thing was, that jet was purchased through Ares One, the company her family praised for its discretion and top-tier aircraft services, a company Diana had secretly built under a different name after they dismissed her as too ambitious. She pulled up the Gulfstream's flight logs. Right after Dad's party, a week-long escape to Turks and Caicos was planned by Connor, his wife Jessica, and her older sister Lindsay, the so-called family unifiers. Another ping. Mom again, urging her not to stir the pot. Diana clenched her jaw. So, the two people who had lied and laundered money got to toast their father, while she, the daughter who'd kept the books clean and built a multi-million-dollar company, was the troublemaker. She turned to Megan, voice calm but firm. Bring me the original lease contract for Hangar C-12. Minutes later, she scanned the lease's fine print, eyes settling on the clause she'd slipped in. Ares One reserves the right to revoke hangar access and flight permissions with 24 hours notice for any reason. Perfect. She called Derek in operations. Issue a lease termination on Hangar C-12, effective tomorrow. Eyebrows raised, Megan replied. That's the Mloud family hangar. Not anymore, Diana said, voice steady. And activate grounding protocol on the G700. Remote lockout. Megan nodded slowly, understood. Leaning back, Diana glanced at the framed photo by her monitor, her and Dad at the Boeing Museum years ago. She still loved him, but if they were going to pretend she didn't exist, well, she'd show them just how invisible she could make them feel, especially when the runway lights stayed off and their jet doors wouldn't open. Let Connor and Lindsay explain that to their elite guests. Then the phone buzzed. Megan appeared. Your sister Lindsay is on line one. It's urgent. Of course it was Lindsay, only calling when she needed something. Money, favors, or access. Last time, it was a last-minute luxury upgrade for their Gulfstream before Jessica's college roommate's destination wedding. Diana ignored the call, letting it go to voicemail. Instead, she shot back a text to her mother. Don't worry, I won't be at Dad's birthday, but you might want to double-check your flight plans next week. Back to business, Diana focused on the acquisition proposal glowing on her screen. Ares was about to absorb a rising competitor in drone freight, all while her family thought she was some reckless dropout wasting her inheritance on a pilot's license and a hobby business. They had no idea she was running one of the fastest-growing aerospace firms on the West Coast. Her phone buzzed again, probably Lindsay panicking over the hangar notice or Connor realizing his perfectly timed Caribbean escape was grounded. She didn't check. Too busy doing what they never thought she could, running a multi-million-dollar business and giving karma just the push it needed. That morning at 7 a.m., Diana's office phone lit up. Dad was on line 1, Mom on line 2, and Lindsay had already called 6 times. Put Dad through, Diana said. His voice thundered. What the hell is going on? Some company, Ares One, just canceled our hangar lease, and now the jet won't start. Something about remote security protocols. Diana leaned back, biting back a smirk. Have you tried calling customer service? He was fuming. We've been clients for 2 years. Well, Dad, she said evenly. Maybe the owner doesn't appreciate being excluded from her own father's birthday party. A long pause. Then the sound of papers rustling. Diana, you're listed as CEO. That's you. Surprise. Turns out your reckless daughter built a little something while you were too busy defending Connor's fraud, she added. This is absurd, he snapped. You can't do this. I did. It's all in the lease agreement you signed Clause 9B. You know, the one no one bothered to read. This isn't how family handles things. She looked out at SeaTac, watching one of her jets rise cleanly into the sky. No, it's how business works, and unfortunately for you, I run both better than you ever let me. Maybe if you'd taken my business degree seriously, you would have read the fine print, she said before hanging up. Line 2 blinked, Mom, trying again. Diana didn't answer. Megan appeared. Your sister Lindsay is in the lobby. She's very determined to see you. Diana sighed. Send her up. Time to handle the drama head-on. 5 minutes later, Lindsay stormed in, designer bag swinging, heels clicking like a warning. What the hell did you do? We're supposed to fly out tomorrow. Diana gestured calmly to the chair. Sit down, Lindsay. Let's talk about loyalty, family loyalty. Lindsay rolled her eyes. You want to talk about loyalty? You turned Connor in for embezzling millions. I reminded her, Diana said, which you help hide. He made a mistake, Lindsay snapped. We were protecting him. That's what family does. No, Diana said, standing and walking to the far wall lined with her aviation certificates, degrees, framed articles, proof of everything she'd built quietly while they laughed. Family tells each other the truth. Family doesn't exile someone for doing the right thing. And they definitely don't cut them out of birthdays because it's more peaceful. Lindsay opened her mouth but shut it speechless. This peaceful, Diana pressed. Was that like when you laughed at my dream of working in aviation? Or when you called my pilot's license a hobby? Or when you helped Connor falsify ledgers while mocking me for not joining the family firm? Lindsay's eyes scanned Diana's office, the skyline view, the awards, the contracts, silent proof Diana owned Ares One. All this time that jet I begged to upgrade? You were begging me, your embarrassing little sister, for help? Diana said flatly. Lindsay swallowed hard. Does Connor know? Not yet, Diana said, glancing at her watch. But he'll find out when he tries to use his Ares One loyalty card to charter a backup jet and finds it frozen. Lindsay sank slowly into the chair. So, will the Caribbean trips canceled? Consider it my birthday present to Dad, Diana said, a reminder of what loyalty really looks like. Her phone buzzed again, third call from Mom, ignored. On her desk, the regional airline acquisition proposal waited funny. That airline was the family's usual fallback for last-minute travel. So it would be hers, too. You should go, Diana told Lindsay gently. I've got some empire building to finish. Lindsay's tone softened. I'm sorry for everything. Are you sorry for how you treated me? Or just sorry you can't use my jets anymore? Diana asked quietly. Lindsay didn't answer. That silence said it all. Megan stepped in with a folder. The board at Northwest Skylink accepted your acquisition offer. Do you want a final paperwork? Diana nodded, satisfaction flickering. Yes. And Megan notify all Ares One partners effective immediately. The Mloud family is no longer authorized to charter any of our aircraft under any name or account. Understood. Sometimes life delivers lessons in boardrooms, sometimes through grounded jets and revoked privileges. That morning, Diana sat alone in her penthouse office overlooking the Sound, sipping espresso, watching chaos unfold in Ares One's booking system. For 24 hours, her family scrambled every affiliate, every connection, but every reservation mysteriously failed. Megan's voice came through the intercom. Connor's trying to charter a jet through our Singapore partner using his backup corporate card. Decline it, Diana said without hesitation, pulling up the G700's tracking log, the $65 million aircraft, locked down in its hangar, a beautiful but useless paperweight. Her phone buzzed with a message from Mom. Diana, please. This is cruel. You've ruined your father's birthday. Leaning back, Diana thought about birthdays past sitting at long tables, clapping politely as they praised Connor's vision and Lindsay's stability. She'd always been the odd one out, the dreamer, with a pilot's license, a distraction, a footnote. She typed back, cruel like being excluded from his birthday? Or like covering up fraud? Her mother's response was immediate. We can talk about this. Just come to the house, please. Diana pulled up a satellite view of the family estate, the white-pillared mansion on Lake Washington with its private helipad. They didn't know she'd bought that helipad last year through a holding company. Can't, too busy running my hobby business, she replied. The office line rang again. She answered. The regional airline rejected our booking, Dad said bluntly. Did you buy them too? He asked. Yesterday, she replied, along with the helipad and the charter company. Lindsay tried calling as backup silence. How big is Aries 1 exactly? Dad asked in a low voice. Diana glanced at the screen showing fleet stats, valuation charts, market dominance heat maps. Big enough, she said calmly. Bigger than the family business even before Connor's theft. A pause. You never said. You never asked. You all were too busy laughing at my pilot's license to notice the empire I was building. There was nothing left to say. Diana looked back at the Seattle skyline, steady, quiet, powerful like her. Dad, I didn't know. You never asked. I didn't know, he said, voice cracking. She said quietly, none of you did. You just assumed I was failing because I chose a different path. Megan appeared with live security footage of Hangar C-12 Connor arguing wildly with Aries 1 staff beside the grounded jet. Let him call his lawyers, Diana said calmly. Mine are better. Diana, please, Dad pleaded. We can fix this. Diana turned back to the window, watching a fleet of Aries 1 aircraft take off. And your birthday meant a lot to me, she replied. Funny how family loyalty only matters when you need something from me. She pulled up their internal client database. Did you know the Premier uses Aries 1 for government travel? So do 3 Fortune 500 companies. That little hobby you mocked? It made me a billionaire. Silence, heavy and long. At least you have Connor and Lindsay at your party, she added. The good children, the ones who bring peace, not drama. We were wrong, Dad said finally. About everything. About you. Yes. You were, Diana said, standing slowly. She walked to the floor-to-ceiling window, Seattle bathed in golden morning light. You know exactly what that mistake cost you. Megan reappeared. Your mother's on her way up. Security called. Diana nodded. Thanks. She turned back to the phone. Dad, I have to go. Mom's here, probably to beg for travel access. I won't be granting it. Happy birthday. Then she hung up. Mom swept in less than 30 seconds later, high heels sharp against the tile, dress tailored and expensive, but desperation barely hidden. Diana, she began, voice controlled but tight. This has gone far enough. Has it? Diana asked, stepping closer. Because I don't think it's gone far enough at all. She moved behind her desk, picked up the newest acquisition proposal, a smaller charter company the family had leaned on for decades. I'm just getting started. Her mother hesitated, searching her face. What do you want? What I've always wanted, Diana answered without hesitation. Respect. Recognition. A family that values integrity over image. Then she handed her mother a folder, a full audit of Connor's embezzlement, bank trails, Lindsay's cover-ups, emails, transaction logs, and finally, a breakdown of Aries 1's growth, revenue, client base, and global reach. Read it. All of it. Then ask yourself if excluding me from Dad's birthday was really about keeping the peace, she said, pausing, or just about protecting the lies that keep this family comfortable. Her mother took the folder with trembling hands, sank into the guest chair without a word. I have to get back to work, Diana said gently, returning to her seat. The jets won't fly themselves. Her mother left without another word. Diana watched the door close, refreshed, the Caribbean forecast still perfect, warm skies, calm winds. Too bad her family wouldn't be enjoying any of it. Not today, not next week, not ever again, unless they learned the truth that the daughter they dismissed, the one they underestimated, was the only one capable of flying them forward. And she'd learned to fly alone. She picked up the phone, dialed her legal team. Let's finalize the Cascade charter acquisition, she said, and start talks with Apex Regional. I want to own the entire corridor. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just grounding their jets, it's soaring higher than they ever imagined possible and never looking back. They called her dramatic, a disappointment, just a girl with a pilot's license and a pointless dream. But she built an empire in silence. And when the moment came, she didn't yell. She revoked their access, grounded their jet, and made sure the people who ignored her finally saw who she was. So what do you think? Was Diana justified? Or did she cross a line that family loyalty should never breach? Drop your thoughts below. Who's right? Who's wrong? And where does justice really lie in families torn apart by secrets? Let's talk about it.